welcome to Singapore. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Maya Bhalla from India Say Magazine.
Nice to meet you again.
Yeah, definitely. So let's get right into it. The first question is in two parts. I kind of want to ask you about your music career and how you balance it with other things. So this is your world music tour, and you decided to bring it to Singapore. Why Singapore? First, that's the first part. And the second part of the question is, how do you manage balancing work, with your production company, Excel Entertainment, and your music and acting career? Do you ever feel like you have to compromise on any one aspect to let the other one shine?
No, not really, but at various points, I think a certain aspect of what I do takes a backseat. And then when the time comes around, that's the one that comes forward and the others go step back. Right. So that it's really, it works like that in phases of what I'm feeling like doing at that point. That's very important. And also, as far as production is concerned, there's a partner, my partner Ritesh Sidhwani, who I work with at Excel. And most of the production work really is done by him. Yeah. As far as just producing films, once I've kind of worked on approving the script, or just doing whatever creatively needs to be done before the film can get into production. That's where my work pauses for a bit, and his takes over, and then I come back in once the film's shot, right. And then the editing and post work starts. So that time does allow me, I can do music, or if I want to go off and act in a film and come back, right. So there are various things that I can do at that point. For me, this aspect of my life is equally as important, and when there is a certain joy in sharing what it is you want to with the world, you do find time for things, so definitely. I guess singing is no different from that.
So you'd consider music more of a hobby as
no, not at all. No, I don't think it's a hobby.
I don't equally important.
Yeah, they are. They're extremely important to me. So it's not a hobby really. It's something that I've always been very passionate about. I've always been a part of in some way because of the music that I was making for my films, for over 12-13 years now. But to take the passion that I have for singing or for performing, or for playing, which is still something that I have to do, the playing aspect of playing guitar on stage. That will happen too. I just never felt ready to do it. And I think with everything in my life that I've done, I do value the fact that a person must know inside them, right. If they're ready to now start sharing with the world what it is that they have to offer.
Absolutely.
So you can't jump the gun and just do something because on a whim, or saying that I had the opportunity, so why not? You have to really, really feel it, and this happened to me at this time.
Do you feel like having the Akhtar name, do you think that helped in marketing your musical career? Do you think that helped you out, as opposed to other people who don't have that exposure in the music sphere, like independent music?
No, not really. I feel that music on that level is not as how would you say it? There's not that much nepotism in music. Right. I think a good song will kind of will go where a bad song can never reach. True. Regardless of who sung it or regardless of who's produced it, because of the way it's so easy to share music. Yes. And it's easy to record your own song and put it out there. Yeah. And these things, and especially the world that we live in now, a good song will go viral. Kind of immediately. We've seen that happen with various artists all over the world.
Even if they're awful,
but it has happened. So there are things that people can connect to. So I think in this aspect of life, the fact that I'm Javed Akhtar's son, I don't think is of great benefit, right. Of any kind. I think if at all people expect me to do a certain kind of work, if nothing else, that okay, he's lyrically so sound that don't do something that's frivolous. I guess they may be having at the back of their mind. But that's my burden to bear, I guess, not theirs or his. Yeah. But that's what you live with. So I don't think so. I don't think so. I think people.
So tell me a little bit about your impression of up and coming young talent in India, like musical talent. And I don't just mean Bollywood music. Because right. You yourself have a strong Western music influence as well in your music, right. And the way that in your rock music, for example. How do you? Is there any particular act that has caught your attention, and why?
There's many artists actually who are not just from the film scene,
yeah.
Who are doing music. For me, just to start with, people that I've known for years and years, like Pentagram, to start with. You know, there's them, there's Shire and Funk. You know, there's many people like that. There's Soulmate.
Yeah, Soulmate. You know, they're absolutely amazing.
And many younger bands, and now many younger bands who I'm discovering. You know, the thing is that also, of course, we get so caught up in our own lives. You know, and we get caught up in doing my film music, and it's not just my film, but it's Zoya's film and Reema's film and the other films that we're producing as well. That is very difficult at times to stop and say, okay, let me go and hear what else is going on, because you're just living in this world. And I feel now, after all these years, with this renewed interest in wanting to know about music that's outside the film scene, I'm slowly but surely, you know, like beginning to now discover the whole world that's out there, and it's changed tremendously from the time that I left it. You know, there's many young bands. We recently were at a music awards, which is just for independent music, like the rock music awards that they do in Mumbai, and there were all these couple of bands that I'd never even heard of before in my life. You know, and I saw them performing for the first time there, and it was just amazing, like the kind of work that people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, with the Indian elections going on right now, have you ever seen yourself going into politics, considering your father and your stepmother are both members of parliament? Has that ever been on your mind?
Yeah, you know, the thing, I mean, I should clarify that they're members of parliament, but they're not really in any political outfit as such.
I understand that.
They've been nominated to the Rajya Sabha from a party, but every single term that happens in the Rajya Sabha, there are members from civil society who are kind of leaders of thought in their own fields, who are nominated to just represent what the civil society is feeling. You know, so that's what they do. But regardless, I don't have any ambition to be a part of any political outfit as such. I think it's important to be socially aware, and I think it's important to talk about issues as and when they trouble you, you know, as opposed to say that, okay, I should not say it because it may affect the way people might view my work, you know, or they may say I don't want to watch his movies, you know, if people don't agree with me. So I mean, that's something that we should not be afraid of, because I mean, this is much larger than what we do for a living. You know, so I mean, for me, I speak my opinion as frankly as I possibly can when I feel strongly about things, and that's all. I really feel my responsibility towards society, apart from my job, of course, is to engage them in a certain healthy kind of way, you know, with the work that I do. But apart from that, is to be a part of that voice that's out there, asking the right questions, you know, or putting light on issues that need to be focused on. Well, for me, the one that I'm very, very seriously involved in is the whole gender issue. That's something, I mean, which is why I started the Mard initiative in the first place.
Great job on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's an ongoing process. You know, I think a great job will eventually all be a great job when we see some serious results happening on ground. But I think it's a generational thing, and I think more and more young people are kind of fed up of the patriarchal mindset. They're a little bit fed up about how things were, you know, and I think that everybody is now aware of the problem, everybody is talking about the problem, and everybody seems to want a solution for the problem, will eventually lead to the fact that there will be a solution. You know, so I feel that this momentum that's happening towards change is a very positive momentum right now.
So that's great. I mean, your time is, well, you know, you come from a very learned, very creative family. Has Shabana ever given you any career advice or creative advice that's helped you?
No, not really. Actually, nobody has. My mother hasn't, you know, my father hasn't, or Shabana hasn't. You know, so for me, I think with Zoya and me both, they've let us learn from our own experiences. And I think that's the only way you can be confident in anything that you do. You know, I mean, of course, you seek advice from your elders, from your peers, people who are more experienced than you. You always want their advice. But at the same time, they've never felt the need to give it unsolicited. You know, so I feel I'm very happy about that, and I feel very proud of the fact that none of my parents have ever asked me that you must do this or don't do this. You know, apart from maybe don't put your finger in that socket and turn the switch on. You know, that kind of stuff. But so not really. I mean, they've always been there whenever we've needed any kind of help. But never have forced them.
Tell me a little bit about what you like about Singapore. I mean, you've been here a couple of times, so.
Well, to start with, it's really clean. I think that's always exciting when you come from Mumbai. You know, it's almost like you can take pictures of corners. Look. Well, so that's always nice. But I mean, it's a friendly place. You know, you can walk around a lot. There's different kinds of areas. There's a lot of green. You know, which is always nice. And I always like places where the weather is unpredictable. I don't know why. There's something romantic about it. You know, I've always, so be it this place, be it London, you know, where the weather is always kind of, it could change at any given point. There's something mysterious about it, something romantic about it. I just like that.
No, I agree.
And of course the food's great, you know, and it's a very and it's a multicultural place, which is always a nice place to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Hi, this is Farhan. I'm here in Singapore to perform with Farhan Live, and I'm sure you've read all about it in India Say, and here we are having a nice conversation. So thank you for all these years of support, for all the work that we do, and I hope that this association can go on for many more years. Of course.
Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely meeting you.
Thank you very much.
And I look forward to your concert tomorrow.